as possible. Their techniques are extensive, and I believe you have zero chance of obtaining a fair recovery on your own. If you're involved in a car crash, you need to hire an attorney as soon as possible after the collision and before you speak to the insurance company's adjusters. Now, I do not have a comic book nickname. I do not call myself the Law Eagle, the Tiger Lawyer, the Law Chupacabra. I think the practice of law needs to be taken more seriously. If you've been injured, call me, Jason Thompson, for a free consultation. My number is 210-900-0400. That's 210-900-0400, or my website, alawyerforus.com.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
Well, De'Aaron Fox's season came to an end today as he will undergo surgery on the pinky damage he has, according to Shams Charania and the San Antonio Spurs. He went out on a high note, though, as he damn near had a triple-double the other night in their win over the Mavericks. 32 points, 11 assists, 9 boards, and the Texas Longhorns double overtime win over the Texas A&M Aggies.
If you smoke, take it outside. Get the facts at don'tpassgas.org.
This is Extra Innings with Pleasure.
Truth is, I am Iron Man.
Rock and roll! The Texans win it!
You've been called the Da Vinci of our time. What do you say to that?
Absolutely ridiculous. I don't paint.
That ball is history! A walk-off home run!
And it's going to be legendary.
James Pledger wraps your day with insight, opinion, plenty of sarcasm, and of course, your calls. He'll even pour a beer out the door for his favorite story of the day. This is Extra Innings with Pledger. Now, here's Pledge. What's up, Danger? Can't stop me now.
Welcome into Extra Innings with Pleasure right here on San Antonio Sports Star, 94.1 FM, sasportstar.com. Appreciate y'all listening, however y'all may be listening, whether that's 94.1 on your FM dial. If you happen to be locked in via our AA Best Bail Bonds audio player at sasportstar.com, or if you are watching live on YouTube, that's right, we stream all of our shows live via YouTube. Just go to YouTube, search SA Sports Star, go ahead, like, subscribe. You can comment along with the show like Jacob Eriks did, who's already put a thumbs up on it. Appreciate that. Morning Huddle's there, the Blitz is there, and of course, I am right there on YouTube as well. So however you may be tuning in, I appreciate y'all tuning in. What an afternoon of sports. I mean, you got Texas keeping their tournament hopes alive and quite potentially have punched their ticket into the tournament with a win today. It went all the way up to 45% after being down as low as 21%. Going into the tournament. You get the win over Vanderbilt, knocks you up into the 41 by the end of the day. After some other losses from other tournament teams, you're up to 45. I would imagine beating a ranked team like Texas A&M puts you from that first four, the first of the first four out, kind of into that last four in range as we look at the Texas Longhorns with a double overtime win over the Texas A&M Aggies, and they are advancing to now face the 4 seed Tennessee, who another brutal game for Texas. But Rodney Terry putting on some work to coach for his job right now, and it is paying off. Dallas Cowboys, well, they've been pretty active as well through free agency. To this point, both with trades and signings and re-signings. And yesterday was an extremely busy day for them. And the morning huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson were talking about how the Cowboys' moves shape up in terms of this season or last season, and this season in terms of whether they will be contenders or not.
Let's move to the NFL for a bit. And the Cowboys, we'll talk about the players that they brought in. I have some opinions on at least one of those players that they brought in yesterday, but let's talk about the players that left, and we'll start with DeMarcus Lawrence, who, only played 4 games last year. But looking back at 2023, had a strong season, 57 pressures, like over a 16% pass rush win rate, great against the run when he's out there. He signs with the Seattle Seahawks, 3 years, $32.49 million. This actually feels like a fairly solid deal.
For who?
Only
For
18
him?
million guaranteed. Like, if I don't know, if the Cowboys would have given him this money, I wouldn't have said,
no way.
That's crazy.
That's crazy money for D-Law. 18
You think
million
so?
guaranteed for him? Yes. The Cowboys have had to justify his existence literally since the moment he signed his contract. They overpaid him, and they paid him for being a good soldier, and he had a good year. But the money that he got paid in Dallas, we can show the pressures and all that. He did not ever justify the check that he got. So good riddance, not good riddance. Good luck to D-Law. He was always a good soldier. And, he got overpaid for the production, and he was good for what he did. But I think given what he got paid and given output over the last couple of years, you can't justify $18 million for D-Law. Good luck. Fare thee well.
Okay. Well, he'll head up to Seattle. The other former Cowboy that got picked up yesterday was Rico Dowdle. And I'll be honest, this one is a little bit more of a head scratcher for me. Rico Dowdle, 1 year, $3 million. This is, I mean, I thought we were talking about
they didn't want him.
I thought we were talking about like a 3 year, $16 million investment, and I couldn't have blamed the Cowboys for letting them walk away for that. But 1 year, $3 million. How is he not a Dallas Cowboy?
I guess you know him. I mean, I will trust the fact that they know enough about Rico to go, it ain't worth it. I can't justify that. They could have had a guy that was moderately successful for half the price of a dude that we really don't know. Other than that, they had a good taste of Rico for a couple of years, and they happily waved goodbye and paid somebody double. So I'm just going to trust the fact that these new coaches, he does not fit whatever the plan is going to be.
Yeah, it's a $3 million 1 year, that's the per year that Javonte got. I mean, I'd rather have the 1 year deal with the guy that I already know, or you know what, both. I don't know. I mean, you got to have none of these guys you've got now are like bell cow running backs. The Cowboys, they're thinking back to the days when Zeke Elliott was still Zeke Elliott and could just be on the field all the time. He can't do that anymore. Most running backs can't. Rico Dowdle in Carolina is getting into a really good situation where Carolina's got a lot of problems. The offensive line is not one of them. Carolina's got a really good offensive line.
And they've
got a guy in Chuba.
Yeah.
They've got Chuba Hubbard, who is going to split carries. They've got Jonathan Brooks, who they drafted, who presumably is going to be healthy this year. But either way, this is a good opportunity for Rico to put up some decent numbers and I guess take another swing at free agency. It was when I saw that, and I expected a much bigger number to be next to Rico's name. You remember when we were talking about we read a story about projected salaries, and Rico Dowdle was looked at as like one of the bigger chases in free agency. And now 1 year, $3 million. That is not the number I expected to see.
I don't know what the market looks like, but I just have to fall back on the fact. I know what I saw on the field, and he's an NFL running back of quality. But obviously, whatever the scheme is, they were more than willing to pay for a couple of years worth of somebody new than a short term with him. Or he was asking for more than that from everybody, and nobody gave it. And the last offer available was Carolina, which might make some sense because, like you just said, he took. It's a pretty decent check for him, but he landed second on the depth chart, and he might even be third.
Yeah, depending on the health of Brooks when he becomes available. The Cowboys did do some bringing in though, and the Cowboys have they've got an MO. The Cowboys like to dumpster dive. They like to find things that other people have thrown out that once had value and go, ooh, I bet if I shine this up, I can get something for it. And they bring in two more former first-round picks. One, Kenneth Murray, the linebacker. They're getting him from Tennessee for a seventh-rounder. Or they're giving up Kenneth Murray and a seventh-rounder in return for a sixth-rounder. And Dallas is going to be Murray's third team in 3 years, after he was with the Chargers for his first 4 years, Titans last year, and he was not very good last year. Had a PFF grade in the 40s. Opposing quarterbacks had a 122.5 passer rating when they targeted him last year. That's not good, but he is a former first-round pick, which the Cowboys seem to be just absolutely enamored with. Doesn't matter if those guys have been good or complete disasters. As long as they were picked in round one at some point, the Cowboys believe that they can get a reclamation project. And
well, he's not a reclamation project. He's a piece to other deals. He hadn't had a chance to stay anywhere to be of any merit. I get the upside of this.
He was in LA for 4 years and did nothing.
For the last 3 is where I'm getting at. And obviously, 2 other teams that, I'll take a chance on him. He hadn't had a lot, but you're right. The MO is there. These are nothing moves. These are 5th, 6th, 7th round draft pick moves. I don't know who these cats are. Nobody knows who they are.
But
suddenly their grade, what I was impressed with in their free agency, it leveled out yesterday. These are just who's left at this position. Okay, him. Who else is left at that position? Okay, him.
What do we talk about, Rob? When you keep trading 4th, 5th, 6th round picks for these, former first round washouts,
you go get these guys.
Then suddenly you don't have any draft picks. So instead of a 4th round draft pick this year, you've got Jonathan Mingo, and it's like at some point you got to stop. You got to believe what you've seen with your eyes for the 4 years that guy's played football.
Brandon Cooks, same thing. Player, everybody likes him, but just because he looked good before, it doesn't mean he's going to work out for you, or there's a reason why he keeps getting traded, one or the other, and both have turned out with the Cowboys. I'm not impressed with this. They might turn out, and on the defensive side of the ball, the free agents that they've brought in have actually been okay. But I think they could have drafted him if they'd have had their draft picks and paid him a lot less money.
Kaiir Elam, they also bring in, and Kaiir Elam, who's played in Buffalo for the past couple of years, he is horrific. This is a guy who was a healthy scratch most of the season. They were forced to play him in the AFC Championship game. He got lit up. He's awful. I posted on my Instagram story yesterday. I'd rather play with 10 men on the field than have Kaiir Elam be the 11th. This is such you talk about a deal that's going to not move the needle. This is bad. Now, he is the son of Abram Elam, who I didn't realize this. I knew Abram Elam played in the NFL. I didn't know that he played 2 years with the Dallas Cowboys.
I was hoping it was Elam the kicker.
No, not him. No, unfortunately, he is a guy. He apparently is a cornerback, but I haven't seen him do much in ways of stopping opponents from moving the football. But he was the Bills' first round draft pick in 2022. He was like the 23rd, 24th pick in the draft, and they just don't let him on the field in Buffalo. Like, that's how bad he is. They're like, yeah, no, you can't play. So the fact that they gave up, and again, he was traded to the Cowboys. Elam and a 6th round pick, a 5th and 7th come back from Dallas. This is in a year we're going to go, why don't they have that pick? What? They gave up a 5th round pick for Kaiir Elam? Why? I really think we're going to look at it like that. It's going to be just like, this is Trey Lance. This is Jonathan Mingo. The Cowboys love to take former first round picks who have been, quite frankly, busts and say, yeah, but in the right circumstance, for whatever reason, they believe that Dallas is not the right circumstance to fix that. They just have not proven to be.
I wouldn't be mad at those guys, but why yesterday? Those are the guys you get on Friday when there's nobody else, where you go, okay, well, we missed on him. He went higher than we expected, but this guy at least was this. You don't do this the day of. This is not the move you make on the day the contracts are available. This is when everything goes through the sieve and there's nothing left. You go, well, he was a first rounder 4 years ago.
Yeah.
I don't get it. And I wasn't overly impressed with their offseason so far. And this selective aggression, yeah. But at least they were making appropriate moves for the things that they needed. And yesterday it fell off. They fell off their bike. Yesterday you went, well, okay, you really weren't working a plan. you had a couple of things that were cooking at the same time. But this doesn't look like a planned effort. Like, first we're getting that guy, and then we're going to get this, and then we're going to get that, and then we're going to draft. No, it looks like you panicked. You talked to some guys. You looked for a guy you couldn't afford, and this guy suddenly said yes. That's what it feels like to me.
Yeah. I listen, man, I think that here's the other thing. The Cowboys, we've talked about it. They've got a long checklist, they've got a lot of roster spots to fill and not a ton of money to do it with. So they're going to have to kind of be creative. It's just taking on these guys who are washout first round picks. It just doesn't seem like a sound strategy. And I guess maybe you think that maybe this is their way of saying we don't trust our late round draft process. Like, we don't feel like we can get players there, so we'll take
gave Will McClay a new contract. I hope you trust him.
Well, they throw away these 5th, 6th round picks like there's nobody's business. So and fourths.
And AJ, I wouldn't be mad at that. Success can be had by acquiring players and using their talents for what is left and all of that. We've seen New England do it for 25 years and others continue. It's not that. It's these guys aren't even adequate. These guys are the spares. And I don't mind you picking up a spare at the end of the day. But while you have all this money, I don't get why there wasn't better or at least more appropriate signings than that. That smacks of desperation, and this is all we could get.
Pledger sent me Kyer Elam's PFF grades. His PFF grades aren't that bad. The problem is, look at his snap count. He's a healthy scratch more often than not. He's just he's not good enough to be a starter in the NFL. He's not even good enough to be a bench player in the NFL. Like, most games, he didn't have a helmet on the sideline. He would be on the sideline in sweats. A first round pick. Think about that. If you're a first round pick in 2022 and then in 2024 you're on the sidelines in sweats because they say, yeah, you don't have a helmet today. You're just a scratch.
How
That's
many times
bad, bro.
did Eberflus see him when he was at the Colts? Did he see him? Does he at least have, I hope, some personal experience with him? Like, I played against the cat. I saw what he can do. I hope there's something there, because I don't get that. I don't get it.
I think it's as simple as, oh, well, this guy was like a preseason, it was an all SEC type of guy. Maybe there's something there. You don't go to Florida. You don't get all the 5 stars. You don't get drafted in the first round if you don't have some talent. But at the same time, it's like, dude, I don't know, man. The worst part is the Bills traded up. They only traded up like 2 spots, but they've traded up to get this Kyer Elam, and he is a trash can. He is an absolute trash can. So I don't have any expectation that he is going to do anything for Dallas this year. I don't think he'll even, if he is on the field, it's a disaster situation has unfolded.
Well, saying goodbye to D-Law added some more money in the account for years coming up. At some point, will they accrue enough to go ahead and make whatever they're going to make with Micah, whether it's a contract or a franchise or whatever, because they keep putting money in the bank? I mean, they saved a fair amount with D-Law going north.
Yeah, I mean, that's but you saved money, but you also have holes to fill now. You know what I mean?
Well, your number one hole is Micah. At what point are you telling me you picked up Solomon what's-his-face? Doesn't, I mean, we know what the goal of this offseason is. And one of them primarily is to at least secure what the future is going to look like with or without Micah. I would think that would be primary.
And they don't seem to be in any rush to get that done.
Well, they added more money yesterday. I keep thinking, I told myself, if they haven't done something definitive, at least given a statement by word or deed about Micah, I don't know what to make of the situation. I felt
the
like
money's
they'd
there to do it, Rob. They just haven't done it.
So I thought by Friday they would have something in place. Either, we're real close, or we're not even in the same ballpark.
Tivy says on our YouTube live, they really need to stop trying with these first round washouts. They act like they can fix these players and do better than their previous teams. Look, I mean, it happens. Sam Darnold was a bust for 3 teams, and then he found the right situation in Minnesota. The Mekhi Becton was a bust of all busts up in New York with the Jets. And he is one of the prize free agent guards right now, thanks to the Philadelphia Eagles and Jeff Soutland. And, they're hoping that they can do the same thing with Kenyon Green, another former first round pick that they just acquired from the Texans. So situations matter, coaching matters, scheme matters. These things all matter. And yeah, part of it is, the Cowboys are chasing the dragon. They found something for 12 games with Rolando McClain, a former washout in the first round. They revitalized his career for a little bit, and they have been chasing that ever since. And we'll see. Maybe they can. Maybe Matt Eberflus has what it takes in his system to get the best out of Kyer Elam, or I would have more hope that he gets something beneficial out of Kenneth, because let's face it, he's a linebackers guy. That's what he does. He got the best out of Zaire Franklin when he was there. He got Sanborn, who he's bringing with him now from Chicago, an undrafted free agent that made a PFF All Rookie team in 22. He says, Sam says it does seem a little movie Moneyballish. Yeah, it's very Moneyballish because they're paying most of their money to Dak Prescott, CeeDee Lamb. They're going to pay it to Micah Parsons and Tyler Smith when his contract comes up here in a couple of years as well. Like they've got money earmarked and they are paying money. They're paying big money to Trayvon Diggs. Don't get it twisted and act like the Cowboys aren't spending money. They just spent money on Oso Odigizua. They are, but now they've got money coming off the books. Hopefully D-Law's money comes off the books here in a year or two. Let's find out if Zach Martin's money comes off the books here in a couple of years. I know he just retired. There's dead money from the restructures that carries on throughout these deals. Those are deals that the Cowboys are going to have to work through, which is why they're doing what they're doing at the time they're doing it. Bills got lucky. They ripped the Band-Aid off a year ago. They left Josh Allen with nothing. They started ripping everything away from him. And they had a good season regardless of it. Yes, they're saying I'm $50 million in cap space, John Dyer, who tweets in the YouTube chat. $50 million. Good chunk of that is about to go straight into Micah Parsons' pocket. And you're able to roll over cap savings into future years. So whatever they don't use, they can roll over. They did that last year with the money they had. They rolled it over because they knew they were going to need it if they're going to get Micah Parsons signed, and his price tag keeps going up and up and up. And right now, $40 million, you could start at 41. 41 of that 50 million is going to Micah. Because that's what it's going to cost him per year and whatever the guarantees are. And it's going to effectively lower his cap number this year. But at the same time, you got to plan for the future. And if you spend every dollar you have today, you won't have it next year. This is Extra Innings with Pledger. I am James Pledger right here on San Antonio Sports Star 941 FM, sasportstar.com. When we come back, speaking of those cap hits, Josh Allen's being praised for leaving some money on the table. But how much do you really leave on the table? We'll talk about it coming up right here on San Antonio Sports Star 941 FM and sasportstar.com.
San Antonio Sports Star.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textplan.us. Texting enrolls for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply. Reply stop, opt out. Consult a doctor prior to use.
Wow, you look amazing. What have you been doing?
I'm sure you've heard of Ozempic, Wegovy, and the other GLP-1 medications, right? Well, I found this great company called Zelty. If you qualify, their providers can prescribe medications like Ozempic and Wegovy and other GLP-1 medications that are 80 to 90% less expensive, all 100% online.
I can get GLP-1 medications for 80 to 90% less and do it all online? No doctor's office or pharmacy?
Yes, Zelty can provide semaglutide or tirzepatide, the active ingredients in Ozempic and other expensive GLP-1s, but for 80 to 90% less and shipped directly to your door.
How do I get started with Zelty?
Just send them a text.
Text CORE to 200-300 to get started today with Zelty. Get the same active ingredients in Wegovy or Ozempic, but for 80 to 90% less and 100% online. Don't wait. Text CORE to 200-300 right now for a link to your exclusive offer. Text CORE to 200-300. That's CORE to 200-300. CORE to 200-300.
Hi, everyone. Tom Mustin here for the Legal Help Center. If you or a loved one were injured in an accident and think you deserve compensation, listen up, because we have legal professionals standing by right now to answer your questions for free. You'll find out if you have a case and how much money it's potentially worth. Call 800-460-3550. That's 800-460-3550. The call is free, the consultation is free, and you can speak with a live agent 24/7. So, if you or someone you know were injured in an accident of any kind, take advantage of this opportunity and speak with a live agent right now. Find out if you have a case and how much money you could potentially get. Call 800-460-3550. That's 800-460-3550. 800-460-3550. Call now. Advertisement sponsored by Legal Help Center. May not be available in all states.
Protect your home and auto with a bundle from Progressive so you can stop worrying about them and invent new things to worry about, like snakes in your bedroom. Sure, that sounds incredibly irrational, but now that we've mentioned it, you are a little worried. The odds of one snake, let alone snakes plural, are so slim. But you might want to check. Oh, you're not near your bedroom. Guess you'll just have to sit there and worry about it. So let Progressive protect your home and auto, because you've got enough to worry about. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states.
Methodist Care Now Urgent Care has 18 locations throughout San Antonio, open 7 days a week. From injuries and illnesses to school and sports physicals, Care Now Urgent Care is here to help you feel better fast. Find a location near you at carenow.com and use our convenient web check-in today.
Imagine finding your dream home and moving in right away. No waiting to sell your old place first. Sounds perfect, right? That's exactly what Orchard's Move First, Sell Later program lets you do. Buy your new home now and sell the old one later. Jason Minix here from the Blitz. That's exactly what I did. Here's how it works. Orchard gives you cash so you can buy and move into your new home first on your timeline. No waiting, no showings, no double moves. Then the Orchard experts take it from there. They handle repairs on your old home and make price-boosting upgrades. Once they're done, a local Orchard agent lists and sells your home for top dollar. Orchard's Move First program gives you the freedom to buy and move into your new home first and sell your old home later. Buy before you sell and get top dollar for your home with Orchard. Ready to find out how much your home is worth? Visit orchard.com to get your free home evaluation. That's orchard.com.
From a fender bender to a total loss, Davis Law Firm has a team of expert attorneys ready to get you back on the road with the verdict or settlement you deserve. Y hablamos español. Want more? Call the Fours. Davis Law Firm, San Antonio, 444-4444.
Cowboys play here. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Welcome back into Extra Innings with Pleasure right here on San Antonio Sports Star, 94.1 FM, sasportstar.com. John Dyer says the Eagles pay all the time. They got like $100 million sunk into a horrible passing game and still gave Barkley the bag. Yeah, they paid a couple of people. There's a difference between Jerry and Howie, though. Howie pays his guys early, so they're never at the full exact top of the market. Jerry, he's had one guy already crush the market in Dak Prescott. CD was $500,000 away from tying Justin Jefferson, $1 million away, something like that per year. And Micah is about to be the highest paid non-quarterback in the NFL. Howie Roseman gets the deals done while they still have time left on their contract without having to use the franchise tag multiple times, and also allowing them to spread that money out earlier, because what you pay today isn't as much as you pay tomorrow. And that number looks a lot better in year 2 and 3. I mean, Cincinnati Bengals are dealing with it right now. They're trying to trade Hubbard, but they can't get what they want for him because they also have to pay him a ton of money if you're taking that contract on, which is why the Seattle Seahawks didn't get what they wanted for DK Metcalf. And guess what? If the Cowboys try and trade Micah, they're going to run into a similar problem because the team acquiring him knows that they have to give him one of the richest deals in sports history outside of a quarterback. It's just how it works. Like there's a depreciating market. You trade Micah in year 2 or 3 while there's still a couple of years left on that deal, you can maximize his value. You try and trade him while he's trying to acquire a new contract, all of a sudden it's, teams are going to be wary of having to pay and give up draft capital. Now, it is what it is. I understand the thought process behind it, but the way Howie does things and the way Jerry do things are two completely separate ways of doing things. And one has an effect on another thing. Jerry pays higher market value for his players because he waits. That way he ensures the maximum value that they get at signing. Howie Roseman pays his guys usually a year early, which allows him to get them near top of market, not at top of market, and also have that deal be a bargain later into their... I mean, look at Josh Allen. Josh Allen signed a new deal a few years ago, just signed a new deal as they ripped it up to raise his average annual value and give him a whole bunch of new guarantees. You think Jerry would have done that? Absolutely not. Dak would have played out every snap of that contract. And that's the difference. That's why it's different. 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776 if you want to be a part of the conversation. More coming up, including contract talk. I teased it just a second ago. Look, Allen, did he take less? Did he not take less? What say you? Because he looks like a saint when he doesn't pass Dak Prescott in average annual value. But is it truly just him out of the goodnesses of his heart leaving some money on the table? We'll talk about it coming up here on Extra Innings with Pledger on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star is heading to Vegas, and you're coming with us. Join Jason and Joe from the Blitz at Circa Las Vegas for Mega March 27th through the 30th. Catch baseball's opening day and all the hoops action at the world's largest sports book. Then take the party to Stadium Swim with 6 pools and a massive 143-foot screen. Book now at circalasvegas.com with promo code BLITZ and join us at Circa Resort and Casino. Sports, sun, spirits, and a sure bet for an unforgettable time.
Progressive knows if you have to choose between everyday life and your RV, RV wins.
What, are you going to take the RV to the mountains or go pick up your dry cleaning? RV wins! Are we cleaning the gutters or taking the RV camping? RV wins! Are we getting a new passport or cruising up the coast? RV wins!
Don't forget, you got that trip to Sweden coming up.
Oh, yeah, passport, then RV.
With Progressive, you can bundle your RV with your home or auto and save with a discount and spend more time enjoying those savings in your RV. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states and situations.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With the Capital One Venture X card, you earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy. Plus, you get premium benefits at a collection of luxury hotels when you book on Capital One Travel. And with Venture X, you get access to over 1,000 airport lounges worldwide. Open up a world of travel possibilities with the Capital One Venture X card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Still getting around to that fix on your car? You got this. On eBay, you'll find millions of parts, guaranteed to fit. Doesn't matter if it's a major engine repair or your first time swapping your windshield wipers. eBay has that part you need, ready to click perfectly into place. For changes big and small, loud or quiet. Find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. But you already know that. eBay. Things, people, love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Get in the zone. AutoZone. Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? This week only, all Pro Elite wash items and accessories are buy one, get one half off. That's car wash, tire cleaner, leather cleaner. All buy one, get one half off. Sponges and towels. We've got dual weave, waffle weave, whatever weave you want. Accessories too. Pro Elite floor mats, car covers, and more. Any Pro Elite item. Buy one, get one half off. This week only at AutoZone. Get in the zone. AutoZone. Restrictions apply.
This is the story of the one. He's responsible for keeping a leading healthcare facility clean and safe. And he trusts Grainger's high-quality HVAC cleaning and safety products, combined with their world-class supply chain, to consistently deliver, ensuring he's covered inside and out, so he can focus on keeping his facility clean to help protect the health of everyone inside. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Something amazing is happening in data management. Even though storage needs are constantly changing, companies are only paying for what they need now. That's because CDW customized a Pure Storage Evergreen One SLA-driven storage as a service solution that delivers enterprise-grade hybrid cloud storage that is effortless, efficient, and evergreen. Simplify storage administration with Pure Storage and CDW. Make amazing happen. Find out more at cdw.com/purestorage.
Buyers Barricades is proud to provide traffic control, rental, and sales for work zones and events in the San Antonio area and beyond. Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. Learn more online at buyersbarricades.com. That's buyersbarricades.com.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Do you find yourself stuck in a timeshare? Get the real facts about the timeshare industry and your options for cancellation. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, has put together a free information guide that reveals the secrets the timeshare industry doesn't want you to know, including the 5 ways to get rid of your timeshare. Call now and get this timeshare cancellation guide absolutely free.
Call 800-334-2266. That's 800-334-2266. 800-334-2266.
Paid for by Wesley Financial Group. When it comes to great deals on tax prep, Jackson Hewitt isn't holding back, and neither is this commercial. Their offer is so big, it has to be said with Reverb, expert tax prep for $149 or less. It's a deal so spectacular, it needs a symphony, some explosions, and a clock ticking, because this offer, $149 or less, ends soon. One expert tax prep for $149 or less. Try Jackson Hewitt today and save. Whew. Limited time offer for new clients at Federal Returns. Participating locations only. Terms at jacksonhewitt.com/149.
It's a classic odor tale. You've had fish for dinner, cleaned up, but the smell is still in the house. And the neighbors are coming over for game night. They're on their way. And then you spray Febreze Air Mist. Febreze Air starts working instantly to fight even your toughest odors, so you go from fish to fresh like that. Now, all you have to worry about is Pam cheating at charades.
Breathe happy, Febreze, la 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 la.
I can't get the ketchup bottle open.
Here, let me try.
Welcome back into Extra Innings with Pleasure right here on San Antonio Sports Star 94.1 FM, sasportstar.com. You want to be a part of the conversation? It's easy to do. You can always tweet at me, at I Am Pleasure, at the station, at SA Sports Star. You can call in 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776, or you can just go ahead and get in on the YouTube chat at SA Sports Star on YouTube. Keith Best says, thoughts on trading Micah getting 2 first-rounders, a second and a third, then 2 young bucks on the edge rusher. Like, when you got to pay him as much as you do, I don't think you're getting as much as you think you're going to get for a Micah Parsons. His age is the best thing working for him. I mean, Cleveland couldn't get what they wanted for Myles Garrett. Now, the best thing that Micah has going for him is his age. And maybe you can get a fraction of that, but you're not getting all of that. 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776 if you want to be a part of the conversation. Joshua did. Josh, what's up, man?
Oh, nothing much, Pledge. Listen to all these conversations of Michael Parsons and his deal. You know, we're coming up with that CJ and Will Anderson deal, and that also explains a little more of the. Yeah. Well, Stingley should get done this year. Or that's what I keep.
Well, he will, but he's also like you just saw J.C. Horn reset the market over Pat Surtain. You know, Derek Stingley's resetting the market too.
Right, and I think Stingley will get the 25 or 30, maybe over 30. He does have David Mulligetta, so you know he's going to get paid outrageously, and he does deserve it. Yes, he did have injury history the first 2 years of his career, but you know he's a solid corner and he's a game changer out there.
He's an all-pro corner.
Exactly. Yeah. So you got to pay the man. Same thing with Will Anderson and CJ Stroud. But that's where I also want to look at with what Josh Allen did. No, he did not take less money, or it's the way they couched it or the way they said it. Oh, he took $5 million less, and which is still
average annual value. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's one of those. I just wonder how can the Texans or how can other teams capitalize on the taking less hit per year, but still giving your top star player that big number that they want, because Josh Allen still got $300 million at quarterback, which is, I believe, higher than what Dak Prescott got.
Sure.
Yeah, and then even with the Dak Prescott, he had $90 million. Like, what are these deals where you can get where all of a sudden you just have to do a flick of the pen and there you go, you save some cap space. So I think that's the future of what these GMs are going to have to do on these deals. I'm not an expert on big words, obviously, as y'all's heard from a few of my calls. So
but think about the way the Saints do business, Josh. Like, when's the last time you saw them bring in a big name free agent? They don't, because they're so up against the cap every year. Every year we see it come down. They're 50, 60, 80 million sometimes over the cap, and they have to restructure all of those deals to get under the cap. Yeah, they've got, players like Cam Jordan, have Marshawn Lattimore, but, Derek Carr, they can't go out and do anything else because all they can do is take care of their own guys.
Yeah, and that's where I'm at. That's where I think you just have to find a strong nucleus. Like, that's with the New Orleans Saints, what they did. I feel like they did have a good nucleus, but I think they're going to eventually have to.
They held on to that nucleus for too long.
Yeah,
that was
the problem.
Once Drew Brees left, it was time to hit reset, and they tried to hold that window open with Derek Carr.
Yeah, and I think Derek Carr is showing them he's closer to his brother David Carr as a quarterback in the NFL than what Derek Carr was back in the day.
It's one of the reasons Casario's punting on this entire offensive line right now. Why pay Laramie Tunsil when the line is horrendous? Mm-hmm. You need 5 people that work together as one, not one and a bunch of people working individually. And the problem was Laramie Tunsil was always about himself and his own PFF grades, which is why on screens you never saw him out like hitting anyone.
You never saw him on running plays, making run blocks or trying to seal him.
No, he spins awful.
Yes, he was awful. And the only times he was even good was when they gave him player off days during the week, and that's not what D'Amico's.
But you paid him, you paid Shaq Mason, you paid Titus Howard. Like, it made a mistake and move on, knowing that you had a whole bunch of money wrapped up in that line. It didn't work. He's aborting and he's pivoting.
Right. And that's where I feel. So the thing that got me worried with the Texans is, after watching this offseason and watching what they did in the free agency, they have built a defense that is stellar. That secondary is probably the best secondary in Texans history, or at least goes against the Jonathan Joseph crew that was over there with Danielle Manning.
Yep.
And those guys. But what I'm nervous about is it looks like all they have to do is make plays to fix their offensive line, and they've kind of pigeonholed themselves. And the thing that Nick Caserio's best at is making pivots. Look at what he did last year when they couldn't get a running back or they didn't get Saquon Barkley. He saw Joe Mixon was going to be on the table, and he just made that quick late-round trade just to get Joe Mixon when he saw that he was going to get released. You look at what he did when Daniel Hunter became available. He was working on the deal with Arik Armstead, and then all of a sudden Daniel Hunter was going to come in at a rate that was better. Oh, he immediately stopped that deal, which was an amazing move because you saw what Arik Armstead is now in Jacksonville, a shell of what he was. And so he's done great with that. And I just feel like doing this with the offensive line, he now leaves himself very little room to pivot. But if you go with what you've heard from Will Harris off of Texans All Access, I believe when he was down at the Senior Bowl in Mobile, Alabama.
John Harris?
He said John Harris, sorry. John Harris. He said that he heard from one of the scouts that Tyler Booker was the Will Anderson of this offense. And of course, the Texans loved Will Anderson as much as they do, so I can see Nick Caserio moving heaven and earth, just like he did to get Will Anderson, to get Tyler Booker. It's just, I don't know where Tyler Booker has to fall.
I mean, potentially, but I could also see them going after a Kelvin Banks or even Simmons. Like, I could see them going tackle for a way to get out from under when it's all said and done this year. Okay. Get out from under Titus Howard, have him play guard this year, one more year. Yeah. And then finally move on from his potential contract. And I would say, I know a lot of the names they've brought in are underwhelming, but I am looking at, a bunch of those offensive lines for the Patriots, because Nick Caley was with the Patriots, as was Nick Caserio, and as was Cole Popovich. And they, Mark Andrews, like they didn't highly invest on the interior of that offensive line. Shaq Mason was like a 5th round pick.
Right, Shaq Mason was like fifth.
Cannon, Marcus Cannon, Tooney. Like it wasn't high drafted players on the interior, and even on the exterior, outside of Sebastian Vollmer and
Nate
Solder, those were the only 1st and 2nd round picks. That's the highest capital they ever spent on their offensive line. Everything else was late round, middle round, or undrafted. And I say keep an eye on a guy who played a dirty style of football and can bring potentially the type of mindset that not only D'Amico has, but also probably Nick Caley in a 7th round pick last year out of Michigan in Ladarius Henderson.
Oh, I don't know too much about Ladarius. I know when he came in,
did you watch Michigan play football when they won the national title?
Yeah, but I mean, everyone on Michigan was good, and it's kind of I wonder what one piece, like even Blake Corum was an amazing running back at Michigan, but he can barely see the field with the Rams. And that's not a slight on him, but that's just when you have a bunch of great players. And again, I want to see what Ladarius Henderson does. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's about a mindset that they want to instill.
Right.
And that's why they got rid of Laramie Tunsil.
Yeah.
Those guys on that Michigan offensive line were dogs. All of them were.
Okay, and that's the mindset, and that's what I want to see. I would love to see them go with the Tate Ratledge, but I mean, to go with that whole New England mindset is they have. If you think about it, they didn't do any top round draft picks, so their only ones were that Nate Soldier and Sebastian Vollmer. And if you look at Nick Caserio, when he drafts offensive linemen early in the 1st or 2nd, they have somewhat seemed to be busts a la Kenyon Green and Drew Shrugs, and his better offensive linemen are late in the round. So maybe
Patterson.
Exactly, 6th round pick. So maybe we're overthinking it with wanting to get the best player, and maybe it is, like as everyone's saying, the mindset. But I worry that the Cole Popovich, and because they had the offensive line coach,
Chris
I don't think it
Strausser.
was not Chris Strausser, for New England. I don't think it was Stoutland.
Oh, they had Dante Scarnecchia there.
Yes, Dante Scarnecchia, and he was able to get the most out of those late round draft picks.
And they learned under him.
Exactly. And my worry is I hope Cole Popovich is closer to Dante Scarnecchia than Jeff Stoutland, because or Chris Strausser, because that was a bit of a
agreed
debacle. And so that's where that's my big worry.
I got you, Josh. I got you, man. I appreciate it. I gotta go. But I mean, yeah, you hope that I hope he's Jeff Stoutland, if we're honest. Like, he's the best one in the game right now. But time will tell. And we're making the judgments and assumptions based on 2 days of free agency right now. We don't see the whole picture. There's still a draft. There's still, after free agency, there's still guys like Mekhi Becton and Tevin Jenkins sitting out there. So let the picture come together, and then we can come to a conclusion on what that picture is. This is Extra Innings with Pledger. I am James Pledger right here on San Antonio Sports Star, 94.1 FM and SASportsStar.com.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Hunger striking, snack time calling, it's crunch time. Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds brings you the boldest protein-packed crunch you can't resist, with mouth-watering flavors like hot honey, sweet barbecue, and sea salt and cracked black pepper. Why settle for chips when you can level up your snacking game? Plus, they're low-carb, high-protein, and made for adventurous appetites. Score big flavor today. Grab Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds at H-E-B.
Don't let pain hold you back from living your best life. I'm Dr. Jason Garrett with Arasti. At Arasti, we're dedicated to providing fast, effective relief from pain. Whether you've been dealing with a chronic discomfort for years or have recently suffered an injury, our goal is to help you recover quickly. Our treatment is all natural, non-invasive, and covered by most insurance plans. With convenient locations nearby, relief is just a call away. Visit Arasti.com. That's AIRROSTI.com. Arasti, we fix pain fast.
Flight by Yingling. It's the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yingling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass, raise the bar. Flight by Yingling. Available wherever beer is sold. DG Yingling & Son Incorporated, Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
Oh, could this vintage store be any cuter?
Right? And the best part? They accept Discover.
Accept Discover? In a little place like this? I don't think so, Jennifer.
Oh, yeah, huh? Discover's accepted where I like to shop. Come on, baby, get with the times.
Right. So we shouldn't get the parachute pants?
These are making a comeback. I think.
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2024 Nielsen report.
Progressive knows if you have to choose between everyday life and your RV wins.
What, are you going to take the RV to the mountains or go pick up your dry cleaning? RV wins! Are we cleaning the gutters or taking the RV camping? RV wins! Are we getting a new passport or cruising up the coast? RV wins!
Don't forget, you got that trip to Sweden coming up.
Oh, yeah, passport, then RV.
With Progressive, you can bundle your RV with your home or auto and save with a discount and spend more time enjoying those savings in your RV. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states and situations.
Listen up, fellow Gen Xers. Elizabeth Banks here. The recommended age for pneumococcal pneumonia vaccination has been lowered to 50 and older, even if you're healthy. It's up to us to lead the way. We've done this before. Music videos, fanny packs, even the World Wide Web. Let's do it again and get vaccinated, because we're at over 6 times greater risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Gen X, this is our shot. Visit VaxAssist.com and schedule a vaccine today. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Welcome to Staples.
I hear Staples prints it all for any business.
You bet, and we'll beat any print quote.
So if I had a pizza place...
Staples can print signs, menus, pizza boxes.
A landscaping business?
Oh, we can print yard signs, t-shirts, brochures.
How about a pizza/landscaping business? I'll call it Dough and Mo.
I like it.
Right now at Staples, get up to $250 off your print purchase. Ends 4/5 exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/print for offer details. Price match guarantee valid in store and staples.com/print. Visit staples.com/price match for details.
Workdays can be unpredictable, but your workwear shouldn't be.
With a Cintas Apparel Plus program, you'll have freshly laundered garments for everyone on your team delivered every week. Cintas has workwear for just about any job imaginable, with high-performance fabrics and an uncompromising fit that stretches and moves with you. Don't leave looking and feeling good to chance. Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
This is the story of the one. As a quality technician in a food processing center, she knows that making the right call is the best way to avoid a recall. That's why she trusts Grainger's world-class supply chain to deliver the high-quality supplies she needs to help keep her production line, her equipment, and her customers happy and healthy. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
You ever try fixing your car and realize you're missing that one part? Yeah, been there. That's why eBay's my go-to. They've got millions of parts, guaranteed to fit. I'm talking brake pads for when yours have seen one too many miles of stop and go. Oil filters, because you don't mess around with your engine care. Even got this cold air intake on my watch list. I might just go for it. To keep the ride cool and your DIY streak hot. Find all the parts you need at prices you love. Guaranteed to fit every time. eBay. Things. People. Love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
CureSearch.org. You're not as alone as you feel.
It's Extra Innings with Pledger on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
My goodness, guys, you've been great today. Appreciate it by riding along with me tonight here on Extra Innings with Pledger on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star. Thank you, Josh. And remember, all of these things are just in the moment. We're reacting to, I know legal tampering started Monday. The league year started yesterday. We're in day 2 of free agency. These deals are just now being finalized. Cooper Kupp still doesn't have a team. Tyler Lockett still doesn't have a team, who I think Lockett could be a potential Dallas Cowboy if all things go right. His relationship with Schottenheimer, their need of a secondary receiver, which would also lessen what they have to do in the draft. It's going to be very interesting moving forward, in my opinion, to kind of see how this thing plays out as we go down the road. But I appreciate all y'all for riding with me tonight. This has been Extra Innings with Pledger. Be sure to call your loved ones, check on them. You never know what people are going through in life, and simple, hey, how you doing, could change somebody's day. We'll talk to you tomorrow right here on Extra Innings with Pledger on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Why pay more for prescriptions? Stop overpaying and start saving with SingleCare. It's easy. Find your prescription on singlecare.com, show the coupon at the pharmacy, and start saving. SingleCare works at pharmacies nationwide and is completely free to use, whether you have insurance or not. So the next time you fill a prescription, check SingleCare to make sure you're getting the best price. Take control of your prescription costs. Go to singlecare.com or download the free app today.
Welcome to Staples.
I hear Staples prints it all for any business.
You bet. And we'll beat any print quote.
So if I had a pizza place.
Staples can print signs, menus, pizza boxes.
A landscaping business.
Oh, we can print yard signs, t-shirts, brochures.
How about a pizza